So I'm here in Paisley at Davie's Barber Shop with Dave, the owner and proprietor of the shop. I'm just here to interview Dave to find out where he actually started and where he plans to go in the future, and just a general oversight about his life as a barber. So Davie, tell me, where is it you actually started in barbering right from the beginning? What was your inspiration and motivation to actually become a barber?
Yeah, I started 17 years ago. Trained as a hairdresser for 4 years. I wanted to learn everything about hair, from the dyeing aspect, and I wanted to learn long cuts as well. So after 4 years I did my apprenticeship as a hairdresser. I turned more into doing gents. I've been doing gents barbering now for 13 years. I trained under Jim Cherry, who retrained me, and I've been doing, so now I've opened my own shop. It's about 8 years now. My new shop that we're currently in has been open for 3 years in May. We've got a real good team of staff in here, and I'm doing a lot of training myself and building up apprenticeships and building Davie the Barbers and pushing it forward.
Okay, and talking about Davie the barber himself, where do you say that your speciality is? What are you known for in the trade? What kind of cuts?
Yeah, I'm quite well known for my kind of fading. Up in my part of Scotland where I stay, it's a lot of short cuts. It's skin fades, balding clipper cuts. So yeah, I get quite noticed a lot for my kind of fading work, what I do. I can do longer kind of styles, but I just play to my market, what's about me in Paisley.
Okay, but right now, skin fading is still trending in Scotland.
Yeah, well, before there was skin fading, we were using balding clippers. So I've been using balding clippers since I was 21, and they're just a wee stage behind a skin fade. So really, it's a minute difference, but it's really popular up here, and I don't see it going away in Scotland. Whether it goes away down in south and that, and other places around the UK, I still find it's going to be a strong market up here.
Okay. And where do you actually seek your inspiration from right now in terms of style? Where you I kind of look about and I watch every day as well. Kind of watch Sid Sitong. He's more of a kind of motivational guy. About life as well as in barbering. When you have chats to him, and when I've done his workshop as well. And then obviously Alan Beak. I mean, I've done his workshop. I don't think, by doing barbering 13 years, I can't go along and learn something from somebody else. And I've done Alan's workshop as well, and watching his stuff and keeping an eye on his stuff on Instagram as well, that gives you something to come in and try. I mean, keeping an eye on everybody. I mean, it's great, the networking now that barbering have. We can learn off each other. And talking about networking, you're involved with quite a few different barbering organisations, and sort of, tell me some of the people that you're involved with, organisations or affiliations do you have?
I'm an ambassador for Osmo, who are a Scottish product company, who are quite more well known in hairdressing. Now they're coming across to barbering, so they approached myself and asked me if I would be the ambassador to help push it in more into the barbering side. So I've been working with them for about coming up for a year now. They're a fantastic company. They're so well known, and they're just full of energy. They pass on to me, and we kind of bounce off each other. So we've got a lot of ideas. 2016 is going to be quite big for me in Osmo. Got a lot of photo shoots, a lot of how-to videos coming out, and I'm also just became Mentaki's ambassador as well for the scissors. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot more kind of longer kind of scissor cuts and stuff like that, and working with Mentaki at different events. And just recently, just from British Master Barbers with Anthony Copeland, I'm now going to be Scottish ambassador for them, which, being a proud Scottish barber, and everybody sees me in my kilts and stuff like that, and I always pull out my soul tire wherever I go. So to be asked by an organisation as big as them to represent them in Scotland is just one of the biggest moments in my career.
Okay. And I have to ask you, because for me, I'm new to barbering, but I've noticed over the last 7 or 8 months you've blown up.
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, I was really I didn't really use a lot of social media, and then when the tattoo studio opened up in here, Instagram came across the table, and Danny says to me, "Why don't you use Instagram and share your work out there?" And I never ever thought about it. I had a like page for Davie the Barber, my shop.
So I got an Instagram, and then it came up with the Great British Barber Bash with Gary Spencer, who was running a competition in Southport. So I thought, why not? So I just entered a haircut. 10 minutes later, I got a phone call from Gary, just telling me, you know, he's coming out to Scotland and this is what he's planning. He had so many ideas, and he just asked if I wanted to go for a coffee. So yeah, went for a coffee with his wife Nikki and Gary, and he just told me his future for Barber Bash, and just, you know, he just wanted to bring something to Scotland, because up here we just didn't, we felt as if we had nothing. You know, there's a lot of shows in England, there's Salon International. Up in Scotland we don't really have that. And when he came up and told me his idea, and he's quite a, you know, Gary's quite full of energy, and he gets you excited. So I was kind of like buzzing, kind of first interview, but I'm like, wow man, this guy is going to really change the game up here, and he did, and he has.
So you would say that Gary Spencer's been highly instrumental.
Gary is
catapulting you to near on stardom, let's say.
Gary's been a massive part. He has been a massive part. And since I have been noticed, you know, you do get a lot of people coming to you, and I always go back to Gary and ask Gary's advice, and we talk through stuff and what I should be doing and how I should be aiming for things. You know, just like kind of pulling everything back, watching what I put out your best quality work. You know, there's tons of things you can learn from Gary, and he's such a nice, humble guy as well.
Yeah, I've heard that mentioned, Gary. I know the best stuff. Not the quantity.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Okay, and you're involved in, is it 2 charities? Tell me a bit about the suicide and
the Lions Collective. Yeah, we're involved in the Lions Collective with Tom Chapman, Pat Barry, and a list of other guys up and down the UK. It started off on kind of Facebook. I know Tom had lost somebody close to him. I think being in this kind of trade, you do get a lot of clients, and sometimes unfortunately events like that do happen. So when we put it together, approached, it was about getting involved, and I'm more than happy to get involved with the Lions Collective. So I've been down to London at the British Master Barber Show, done a demo with Jack Liddell on it. Yeah, there's a lookbook going to be coming out as well, so that's all going to raise awareness as well, and it's going to be a massive launch night held as well. All the proceeds go towards the charity. And we're all going to be going for training to learn how to talk to people as well, so it's not just a gimmick. We're actually going to go and be properly trained to be able to deal with it and put people in the right direction. You know, people do trust you when they sit in your chair, so you do get, I think people trust you a lot. You get to be touching their hair and more closer than they would probably let a lot of other people get to them, so they do open up to you. So under these circumstances, if you do get somebody that is depressed, and you know, it's nice to be able to give them a leaflet and know what you're talking about, you know. So
they're going to train you to be a therapist?
Yeah, I wouldn't go as a therapist, but we will have a sticker in the window alerting people what we are trained. So maybe bring somebody out their shell if they see the sticker in the window and say, well, he's a member of the Lions Collective. We can approach him. You know, I'm not going to be a therapist, I'm a barber, but yeah, we will be able to kind of talk to somebody, and if you can help that one person, you know, it's well worth it.
And you recently had a visit from Mr. Shaw of Whoa.
Yeah.
Tell me about that visit. Was it a visit? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I started this 17 years ago, and I pick up clippers with Simon's face on them, and I never ever thought I would ever get to meet the guy or even him know me. I met him when I went down to do my first live demo. First time out the shop, it was with Osmo Barber Connect, and I was right across from the wall stand, and I'm like, so no pressure on me, so everybody's crowding round the wall stand, and there's me on the Osmo stand, you know, just, I think it was like the second time I cut outside my own shop in years, and so I didn't let it faze me. I just went on with my day and enjoyed it, and it was a buzz to see the guys working so close in hand. I did meet him at night, but I can't really remember much of it. He filled me in on it when I did the British Barber of the Year competition on stage. He told everybody about it, about how we were sitting around the piano at night. So yeah, and I was sitting in bed, and then I got a message from him just going, what are you doing? I'm coming to your shop. So yeah, I think it's the most nerving beard trim I've ever done in my life. Yeah, it was quite kind of nerve-wracking, but he's such a nice guy. So he's came to the shop, we brought the staff in, everybody got a buzz off him being here. Yeah, and we're going to be doing some work with, I'm going to be doing some work with Simon on Barber Connect on
the WoW stage. So
okay.
yeah, to work with him as well, it's amazing, you know. So
you definitely are shooting for the stars.
Yeah, I'm just doing I'm just doing what I do and what I enjoy doing, and it's great to finally get, you know, get to see these guys who have been an inspiration for me as a barber when I first started.
I mean, it's testament to your own work if you've got the likes of Simon Shaw, you know, reaching out to you. You're not reaching out to him.
Yeah,
and you're doing something right. So.
Yeah, it was nice. I got 2 free pairs of clippers as well, but yeah, I mean, it is amazing. It is. I'm blessed. I really am. I do really feel I'm very lucky, and I've got an opportunity. But I've worked really, really hard for 17 years, you know. So it's nice now. I can, if I just next year my work dried up and I just back into my shop, I could tick every box and say, well, I've worked with the guys that inspired me to do what I wanted to do in life, and yeah, it's been amazing so far.
Good. And tell me how instrumental you think that social media, namely Instagram, has been on your business.
I think social media is, one day it could shoot you up, one day it could bring you down. So you know, this is what I tell my staff as well. You've got to really be careful, and not only before social media. You keep standards very, very high. It's so easy for everybody to remember you for that one bad haircut. They remember you for the 6 good haircuts you put up that year. So even with the staff as well as myself, you know, social media can really hurt your business or it can excel your business. Instagram, yeah, has a lot of positives from Instagram. Getting onto different barber sites and stuff like that, yeah, and social media. But now, I mean, social media on Facebook with Barber and with the Barber groups, you know, like Barber Versa and New World Barbers and stuff like that. It's now connecting with barbers you probably wouldn't have known. Then now when you go to shows, you know, you get people coming up who you talk to, so it's kind of connected us all together, which is good fun. And obviously if you do a nice haircut and you put it on and nice compliments and stuff like that, so yeah, it's enjoyable.
And what do you think the negatives are? How do you think it could hurt the barbering trade?
You're always going to have Facebook haters, you know, you're always going to get that no matter how good you do it. Or yeah, but I tend to try not get yourself involved in it. If you get nothing nice to say, just don't say anything at all. I mean, my granny taught me that, so I kind of try and stick by that, you know. I get people message me all the time with their haircuts, and they ask me for advice. I'll give them advice and help them any way possible, but I don't tend to get involved in it myself. I try and stay away from it. But yeah, it's a shame, because it's the other guy out there is just trying to do his best and putting his work out there and bearing his soul to Facebook and the barbering world. And yeah, there can be sometimes some nasty comments, but sometimes there's a lot of good guys out there and women that will just kind of guide the guys in the right place, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, that's right. It's funny you should say that about bearing their soul, because it's funny. You know, Instagram, you only do very few posts. Yeah. Comparative to Facebook, yeah, every time you put one up, you press kind of like the share button, your heart starts beating. So I kind of feel that bearing your soul. And education, I understand you're part of the Outlaws, is that right?
The Outlaw Collective, yeah, it's Learn and Create. Well, basically, what would happened is Adam Sloan had contacted me after Barber Bash. He'd seen me on stage. And he was wanting to get involved with him because he's a big Scotsman himself, so he loves Scottish barbers, so he really was impressive when I was on stage. So he gave me a phone call and said, look, would you like to put a team together? What about your guys in the shop? But you know, my team in the shop, it was just a new team put together, so there was still a lot of kind of work they had to do. They weren't a lot of confidence to be on stage. So I knew Slicks through Gary, had been there, and I seen an interview, I think with yourself, had done one. So I had contacted Eric, spoke to Eric about we basically kind of knew each other through social media about what I was seeing about a barber team together and what we could do. So we decided the Outlaw Collective. Outlaw was a name I was looking at for something else, put it to the guys at Slicks, and the Outlaw Collective was born. So we decided to do, my old boss who trained me 17 years ago had approached me and said, I would like to do more gents with hairdressers, would you like to do like a demo show for us? And so get me going back to train the guy who trained me. It was pretty awesome. But so we met in here, we all walked in, and it turned out it was a full house. There was like 17 hairdressers and all their models everywhere, and me and Eric were like, oh man, here we go. And it was a bit shaky to start with. It was like, and this is, but we got through it. It was pretty, we came up here and we laughed about it after it. We just didn't expect the turnout that we had. Since then we've done Kilmarnock and Livingston as well, workshops, and they've went down an absolute treat and everybody's been really impressed by it. I don't label ourselves as educators. I don't think I've got the qualifications to call myself an educator, but we call it learn and create. So if you come along for the day, if you want to learn a couple of different skills but you're maybe not doing in your shop, or just want to come along and watch, and we do break down. Eric does the fundamentals of how the haircut's created and stuff like that, you know, and we show them how to do the kind of latest skin fades if they're not doing them in their shop, you know, because it's starting to just come up here, the skin fades and stuff like that. Although down south have had it for a wee while, we seem to be just a wee bit behind. So a lot of the wee local shops up here are small rural towns that aren't doing this yet. They don't even have foil clippers, and so when we go along they're like, what is this new stuff? And so I enjoy that more, going to the smaller shops, more intimate. The one we did in Livingston called the Wee Barber Shop literally is a wee barber shop. It's like at 2 stations. It's a great wee cosy shop, and it was great fun in that day, and everybody takes everything in. So it's given us good practice, because then when we go on stage we're going to be more confident and we're going to be able to produce it forward and onto whoever's watching us.
So basically you're liaising with people down south that are more on the forefront of fashion and kind of introducing that more into the Scottish market. Yeah,
that's exactly what we're doing. I mean, first of all, when we turn up, we always introduce and say, you know, what we're doing. We're not here to say we're better. We're here to just show you what we're doing, have some fun, bring a model along, and I mean, it's so relaxed, the atmosphere, and that's what we want. We don't want to be standing preaching, and you know, we go through the fundamentals, we get the key points out there, we take them through everything we're doing to a T. And everybody's went away and they send us all their pictures of what they're doing, how they've been inspired by the day, to then push on and do it themselves. So we end up with hundreds of pictures getting sent us constantly for people we've done workshops with, and that's the way I like to keep it, and I'll keep in touch with them from now on. And we always see progresses of how they've moved to another shop, because that shop's now doing something they want to do. So it's helping them in their career, and that's where I get the enjoyment from, and yeah, it's good fun.
Well, you've got a lot going on, a lot of big things. What would you say your one greatest moment in barbering has been? With everything that you've done.
Today, I think you can't top walking out on front of your home crowd in Glasgow with a piper and standing in a kilt. I've got to say, doing that was awesome. Absolutely. I mean, that was like my second live thing I'd done, and then before you know it, you were just, you know, Craig is a good friend of mine, the piper, and you know, there's nothing better when you get out there and the whole crowd was buzzing and everybody was up and jumping and that, and it was a great, it was a great atmosphere. And yeah, but doing the British Barber of the Year was absolutely fantastic. But your home crowd and hearing that piper standing in front of you was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, no, that was jaw dropping, because I remember I was actually taking pictures. I was like papping away, and you came on stage with the pipers, and I just literally stopped taking pictures because you said, "Have you got any pictures?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." Like, so taken back by it all, you know.
Yeah, I think Mark Shirley was the same as well. We had Mark Shirley, and I said, "What did you get?" And he was like, "I was videoing." It's because I was looking for pictures of me on stage. We didn't get any, but that's good. But I mean, everybody went away, and everybody we spoke to said it was a highlight, and everybody enjoyed it, and it just picked everybody up. But that's what I mean. I'm a big Scotsman at heart, and I just love that. I love the energy of the pipes, and so it was good to involve that in my day. So I look forward to the next Barber Bash in Glasgow.
Indeed. Dave, thank you very much for giving me this interview. I'm sure
no problem.
People, you've answered a lot of questions people have been asking about you, and I'm sure people are going to learn a lot from this too. So thanks for taking the time to give me the interview.
Thanks very much for coming up, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.